1 2 1 2 1 2. Microphone check.
Champion City Podcast, where we tell real stories from grinders, hustlers, and everybody on the come up. If you're still in the trenches or you still trying to get that bag, this for you. This your blueprint, your motivation, your platform. Let's go.
Yeah. Usually I want my wife to help me.
What up, everybody, man? Thanks for tapping in today. There's going to be a delay on the TV and shit, but it'll pop up like 2 minutes or something like that.
All right.
What's up with everybody, man? Today we got a chef in the house, man, Inglewood native as well. Why don't you introduce yourself to everybody?
What's up, everybody? My name is Gustavo Chavez, owner, operator, and head chef at Carnitas El Artista. Inglewood.
Inglewood in the house, man.
Right.
I'm telling you, Inglewood is full of talent, man. Like we could survive on this podcast just out of Inglewood talent all day. But you were talking about, so you're a carnicero?
Yeah. So story behind that is everybody in this food game has a title, right? Like an unofficial title, I guess you could say, because in the eyes of the public, we all seem to be referred as taqueros, whether you sell tacos de asada, whether you make enchiladas, whether you make birria, whether you make carnitas, if you make anything you make, they're just like, oh, vamos a los tacos, so automatically
sure.
We're known as taqueros, So people that make birria are referred to as birrieros. People that make carnitas are carniceros, butchers. People that do tacos de asada are taqueros.
All right, there you go.
Breakdown right there.
Yeah, that's the breakdown right there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you own the business Carnitas El Artista, right? Which is in Inglewood. It's a popular restaurant, that everybody goes and gets their carnitas, their chicharrón, their chilaquile burritos and shit, which is he invented, by the way, and shit. So we'll touch a little bit on that. But why don't we take it a little bit back, man? So like growing up, like you grew up in Inglewood too, or like,
Yeah. So, I was born out here in San Pedro in the harbor area. After a while, my mom took us to live in Inglewood. I lived in Inglewood for the younger years of my life, and then Inglewood, was home until my mom, and my stepdad bought a house in Palmdale, and then we came out to Hawthorne, and we were back in the city. But always around, Inglewood and Hawthorne, and that was pretty much the main, growing up, the stomping grounds.
Yeah. So you went to like Kroger, right? Or
I went to, I went to Kroger, and then we went to Lusinger, and then actually before Lusinger, I went to Hawthorne High when my mom, not Hawthorne High, Hawthorne Intermediate. My mom moved us into Hawthorne by the time we were going to middle school and high school. So we got shot to Lusinger and all that stuff.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And then like growing up as a kid, like did your parents make carnitas and shit, or like did they do any kind of restaurant food or?
So
Because
Like,
every Hispanic, I assume you're Mexican. My bad. I didn't
yeah,
mean to cut you
Mexican.
off.
You know, both of
Right.
my parents are from Michoacan. They're both from Tangancícuaro, Michoacan, which is probably like 5 miles away from Zamora. We're 2 hours away from Guadalajara, but Tangancícuaro is el pueblo de nosotros. That's where we're from. Both my parents, again, they were born from the same in the same rancho. They made the magic happen and boom, popped me out, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But yeah, we're from Michoacan. I was born here in San Pedro again, and then that little part where we just kind of moved around a little when we were young, just because of you know financial reasons. I guess my parents were going through, and just kind of trying to find the better and best way to raise us, and where they could try to give us like a good upbringing. But it's like in every household, food is important, right? It
Yeah.
doesn't matter what background you come from. It doesn't matter who you're from or where you're from, Mexican, black, white, Asian. It doesn't matter. Food is very important. And in a Mexican household, there's always that strong dish. You know what I mean? And sorry about that.
No, no worries.
This never stops calling.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But I'll go ahead and turn this off. So I was before opening a restaurant, I was an electrician.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I'm
Yeah,
still an electrician. That'll never go away.
Yeah.
I was working as an electrician.
That's my trade too, man.
And really?
Yeah.
Okay, cool, man. So I did a lot of, we did a lot. I did everything. I worked for a very long time as an electrician, and we we would always hang out. I'm sure you hang out with the boys after work. Like everybody's like, where do we get a beer? Let's go chill. You got 2 or 3 of your buddies that you work with that like to hang out, and we would hang out at my house sometimes, and we would start doing carne asadas. We started doing codornices. We would do fish, ceviche, like everything. You know what I mean? And then it gets to the point where everybody starts saying, "Hey, pero tú eres, you're from Michoacán. How come you haven't made us carnitas yet?" 'Cause everybody was tired of everything we already cooked, you know. And I didn't know how to make them, so I went to my dad, and my dad tenía un caso, and he's like, I was like, "Dad, tu caso, ¿por qué no me enseñas a hacer carnitas?" He's like, "Yo no sé hacer carnitas." And I'm like, "What?" But my dad cooks, though. He's a cook. He was a cook. Rest in peace, my dad.
Yeah.
And my dad's specialty was like pickled pig feet, chicken feet. He would make cueritos, like the pickled
Cueritos
kind.
are really popular and shit.
Yeah,
too,
bro.
Right?
And he used to make them in vinegar, though. Like the pickled ones. So that was his thing. And he's like, "I'll teach you how to make that." He's like, "But I don't know how to make carnitas. You're gonna have to talk to your tia Lupe's husband," which my tia Lupe is his sister. And they live in Salinas. So I was like, "Yeah, I called my aunt and my uncle, and they're like, 'Yeah, come, we're gonna show you the steps and everything.'" And at the time,
They would just make carnitas for fun,
just for fun,
for the
again,
parties and stuff, right?
Yeah. So to elaborate a little bit on that part of it, like nobody in our family ever had a restaurant, ever has had a restaurant other than one of my cousins in Mexico, Chela. She's in front of her store. She sells tamales de harina with mole. She used to do it before. She doesn't do it anymore. But that was like the closest that we got to somebody actually selling.
Oh, okay.
And I have a cousin in Wilmington, Vero, that she was selling carnitas out of her house.
Oh, okay.
But again, it was like once a month type deal.
Sure.
And actually, she was one of my greater and bigger like inspirations. Because she said, "You know what, primo? You already know how to cook." She goes, "It's gonna come naturally to you. So don't worry, you're gonna get it down." So she has a recipe that she followed through her husband's family because they also cook. It's a big thing to cook in Michoacan, and I'm sure everywhere else. But for us, like in my family, like we love to cook and we love to showcase that.
Oh, nice, yeah. In my family, they made pan and shit. They were like bakers. My grandfather and then my uncle took it over and shit like that.
Yeah, and you know what? Where we're from, there's we're in Tangancícuaro. It's at the gate of this place called Los Once Pueblos, and there's a town right next to Tangancícuaro called Chilchota, where the whole town bakes, bro.
Oh, all right.
Like you go through the streets and there's
all pan everywhere.
puro pan.
Yeah.
So we be going over there when we visit. We'll buy our, nuestra coca.
Yeah.
We wait for the conchas to be ready, bro. We'll jump in there, get a concha, and fucking take it down with a Coke and shit. Probably not the healthiest thing, but I'm telling you, it's fucking delicious.
But it's fire though, right?
Fire,
the sugar cane Cokes too, man.
Yeah. So, anyways, I went, like I got this advice from my dad to go learn from my my uncle, my wife's my tia's husband, and when we went, he was like real simple with it, you know. And this is what I liked about it, and I think this is what the instruction he gave me was so sincere, was so pure, and I think that's what helped me get the recipe that I got now.
Oh, okay.
Because he said, "I'm gonna show you the process." He said, "But the real flavor is gonna come from your palate."
Mm.
He's like, "I'm gonna show you what I put in it, but when you try these, you're gonna want to change something. You may want to add more garlic. You may want to put less salt. You may want to put more water. You may want to have them softer. You may want them harder." He goes, "It all really depends on you, and it's gonna take you a few times to understand how you're gonna have these carnitas made." So, you know, he walked me through the process. The ingredients are lemon, salt, water. You either burn sugar to give it a coloring, but the real color comes from the sear. And this is the difference between the Michoacan process and the process that everybody else uses. So when you hear carnitas michoacanas, the process is you sear them, take them out. Once they're all seared, you put them back in, and that the searing gives it the color.
Oh, all right. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
because you don't really carnitas michoacanas are not fried.
yeah. Sure.
They're not fried.
It's like I seen the process of how they do them, and it's like it's boiled and shit. No,
They're boiled.
basically, and shit.
Well,
Yeah.
they're not. They call it braised, right?
Okay.
It's not, but it is boiled. It's boiled.
Yeah.
It's boiled. But
From
that's
my
how it is.
perspective, right?
Right?
When I seen it.
No, and I thought the same, right?
Yeah.
Until I started, until I got into this chef culture. You know what I mean? Where you know how we are as electricians,
Yeah.
bro. We don't let people tell us what to do. We
Yeah,
gotta figure out how to do it, and then we know
I splice my
how to
wires
do it.
like this.
You
bro,
know what I'm saying?
know?
But yeah, bro, you know, like I kind of like started understanding like the different languages because I use that word too, bro. I used to be like, "Oh, we boil it." They're like, "Oh, in water?"
Yeah.
When I was talking to other chefs, and they were just like, "No, you boil. No, I don't boil it in water. I boil it in the stuff that I used to." Oh, they're like, "Oh, you're braising it."
Yeah,
That means
yeah,
braising it. I guess it's a way of marinating the
sure.
meat, right? So then, yeah. So anyway, so once we, you know, we put everything back in, and you make it, and the water burns off, and then you're stuck with this really like heavy liquid, and the carnitas are tender, but they look fried, and then you have these people say, "Hey, I want the fried part." And you're just looking at them like, "Well, this wasn't really fried, but here's the brownest stuff that I can give you." You know what I mean? And that's the difference between carnitas michoacanas and carnitas from anybody else. You know what I mean? Like in Guadalajara, what they do is they put all the meat in there. They'll add water. They'll add everything, the manteca and the water mixed in. They'll let the water burn off. Once the water burns off, queda la pura manteca y empieza a freír la carne. It fries the meat, and then boom, it gets crunchy. And that's how they're like, "Oh, that's why I want crunchy carnitas."
Oh,
It's a
okay.
different part of Mexico. It's a different process. They're not carnitas michoacanas, and we do carnitas michoacanas.
It's like that with people that do different quesos, right?
Yeah.
Like queso Oaxaca, and then people happen to like that one.
Yeah. Like you can't melt queso cotija, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, for
But
sure.
you know what I mean? Oaxaca, they'll melt the hell out of some
Yeah,
Oaxaca
yeah.
cheese.
That's
for
just
sure.
fire too, man.
It is, bro. You know what? I've been making some quesadillas, bro, with carnitas. What we use,
I don't know why I never thought of that.
what's that,
I make quesadillas with everything. I've never made them with carnitas, dude.
bro? You know what, man? You sell carnitas, and you gotta find something to make them. You gotta find anything and everything you can make.
So it's different, no?
It's different, you know. And that kind of brought us to so again, that kind of brought us to the chilaquile burrito. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah.
So when we fly into to Mexico to get to Tangancicuaro, we fly into Guadalajara. One of my favorite dishes, bro, growing up, have always been chilaquiles. Have been chilaquiles. And again, I've been flying into Mexico since I was like 18, 19 by myself, like without family, sometimes without my mom. I mean, just with friends. It just depends, right? We just get on the plane and go. And one of the places I've always been to is Los Chilaquiles in Guadalajara.
All right.
And it's the first time ever, bro, where there was more than just two options of chilaquiles. It was more than just red or green.
Sure.
Because I'm like, I mean, and again, you're
Because at home, that's how they would make them, not?
right?
Like,
That's all we would get, bro. We didn't
Sure.
get no other options, man. So I went to this place and I seen chilaquiles de birria, chilaquiles de chicharrón, chilaquiles con carnitas, chilaquiles con arrachera, chilaquiles, like any mole, chilaquiles and mole are fire, by
Never
the way.
had 'em, yeah.
Man, it's one of my favorites. I don't know why they don't do good in the restaurant, bro. We've offered them. When I first opened, we had them, and people just didn't really take to them because I think mole is, I don't want to talk about mole, but anyways,
Yeah.
it's particular, right?
Yeah.
It has its fans. So anyways, growing up, going to Mexico, stopping at my favorite stopping point was always, it's a restaurant, Carlos Chilaquiles. I think they have like 3 or 4 of them in Guadalajara. Anybody ever out there, I 1000% recommend it. Some of the best chilaquiles you guys are ever gonna have. And when I started my restaurant, like my inspirations were definitely places that I've been to, stuff that my family has cooked, and things that I'm capable of making correctly. You know what I mean? Like putting in the time to make. And I remember going to Mexico City and eating tortas de chilaquiles. You know what I mean? You go to te ponen crema, the big old bread. It's a big ass torta, like huge,
Yeah,
bro,
yeah.
bigger than my head, and I got a big head. But it was a torta, and I remember coming here when I was opening my restaurant. I said, you know what? I'm gonna make a chilaquile burrito because everybody sells chilaquiles. It's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
uncommon. But the burrito, when we opened in 2021, um, I wouldn't see it anywhere. I never seen it, and it was like I was like, you know what? We're gonna do it. So I had a influencer by the name of the Hangry Writer, my boy Josh. Shout out to Josh. He came and he's like, I said, hey, he's like, what are you gonna do? I said, I want you to try something. So by this time, I'm already like kind of, like already somewhat recognized on social media. I had other people making carnitas and having their taco spots and all that, like kind of following me, and we're all following each other and
Yeah,
inspiring
yeah.
each other, bro. I think unofficially, without saying it, it happens, bro. You see something that another business is doing, you're not copying, bro. You're just getting inspired.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I
for
mean?
sure.
And I
Yeah,
never,
yeah.
and I look at it that way, bro, because I don't. I didn't have all these ideas, or I don't know how to do everything, bro. You have to look somewhere. You have to get an idea from someone.
Sure.
You have to kind of like, I think as an electrician as well, right? I just learned that I had to like kind of envision what my conduit runs were gonna be like, what my pipe racks were gonna look like,
Sure,
how I was
sure.
gonna run pipe before I could even do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I did the same. I applied the same thing to food. You know what I mean? I'm like, how is this gonna look? What is it gonna be
Yeah.
like?
And adding like your own flavor to it
Yeah,
and
bro. And
shit,
then
right? You
I
know?
just cook it my way. That's
Sure.
it. So and you do that based off of what you see from other places.
Sure.
Growing up in this trade as an electrician, I had mentors, bro, that told me, look, you have to do things like this, and it has to look like this by the end of the day.
Yeah.
And I took that and I applied it to food, and I'm like, what would a chilaquile burrito be like? You know what I mean? Like, because nobody makes it. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
where in Inglewood could you get a chilaquile burrito other than in my restaurant?
Sure.
Right
At
now,
least me, I haven't heard of them and shit.
right now,
Yeah.
More than my restaurant, good.
Mhm.
I'm happy. You know what I mean? Because options are always good for people. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? Nobody's ever going to take all the business. Nobody's ever going to be the only one. But I'm glad that we all have something to offer and that we're all surviving in this industry.
Yeah, and you
But
inspired somebody and shit.
I don't know,
you
bro.
know?
If I did,
Yeah.
that's what God wanted. If I didn't, then they found it somewhere else, and that's good too. You
Yeah,
know what I
yeah.
mean? But when I started with that burrito, I gave it to him. At the time, bro, I was doing like 1,000 views, and I thought I was already like, I was up in the stars. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And this video did like 2.7 million. It
Oh
was my
man.
first viral video,
Yeah, yeah.
bro. I don't know how I made so many chilaquile burritos in that time when that video went viral, but it was crazy. I,
Mhm.
I couldn't look anywhere other than into the business to figure out how to make so many chips because our chips are made with a certain tortilla.
Oh,
Our
sure.
tacos are made with
And fresh
another
made and
tortilla,
shit.
fresh made.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't have a lot of my restaurant. If you've been there, it's like it's a small restaurant. It's
Mhm.
not a big. There's not a lot of storage,
Mhm.
not a lot of refrigeration. A lot of the food has to stay warm, and it's kind of hard for me to cut corners because there's no way.
Sure.
You know what I mean? I would have to be able to store it somewhere and say, oh, you know what? Let's just go pull the bucket out of salsa over
Sure,
there.
sure.
Like, nah, man, we run out of salsa every 2 days.
Man.
And the girls are like, hey, we're running out of salsa. What does that mean? Oh, I got to stay late and make salsa. So the morning when we open up the business, we
Yeah,
have
you
salsa.
have it
If
ready.
not,
Yeah.
we can't offer it.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And we run into that's another problem that we run into. I don't want to deviate from the
Yeah,
chilaquile
yeah, yeah.
burrito.
Yeah.
But anyways, so I made this burrito. He made it.
The Hangry Rider came through,
The Hangry
yeah.
Rider came through and promoted it, and unknowingly we went viral. And it was just kind of like it helped us, it blessed us, and it just propelled us to be known for this chilaquile burrito.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And then a little after that, I seen other places coming up with it, making their own versions of it, and that's dope. You know what I mean? That's dope. And I don't want to say I'm the inventor of it, but I think I'm one of the people that got it recognized.
All
You know
right.
what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Because I'm
yeah.
pretty sure somebody else made a burrito the same way
Sure.
before even me. But
Yeah.
you
And
know,
a lot of things like that people make like in their house, no? Like a lot of like how they have like prison food and stuff, right? Like like me, I like to create shit at home too. Like I'll make like something like cuz I like you say I see somebody else that does something. But like for example, Jack in the Box had released that French toast sandwich and shit. I don't know
yeah,
if you
yeah,
ever
yeah, yeah,
I have been making French toast sandwich like a year before that, dude. And my
yeah,
wife would always tell me, she was like, "Damn, this is so good." Like where'd you get? And I was like, oh, because you like French toast and I like having breakfast sandwich. So I just literally put it together and it would be big.
yeah,
And but I felt like I like was the one that like, but like I'm sure other people also do it, no? Like they like, oh, I like French toast, I like sandwich, let me put this together or something
yeah,
like.
yeah,
But a
yeah,
chilaquile burrito, I wouldn't think because it's already all the tortilla. So then you're wrapping it in a tortilla, right? So it's like,
yeah. And
mhm,
you know what? One of the biggest challenges that I've had is this restaurant. I'll talk a little bit about the
mhm,
challenges in this industry, right? And that's a good point you bring up because
mhm,
I remember when I used to sell at home, bro. It was all love, bro.
yeah.
Like because I started selling out of my house.
Well, actually, let's take it a little back, if you don't mind, before we
Okay,
go there, right? So you ended up getting the recipe from your uncle,
I
right?
got
That
it.
he
Oh yeah,
taught you a process and shit,
yeah,
no?
yeah.
And then you're kind of like you do like carnitas. You've always ate them, right?
Of
Like
course,
before
bro.
that.
Yeah,
I mean, who
yeah,
doesn't,
yeah,
right? Like
yeah.
chicharrón with like the salsa and the tortillas,
I'm
right?
from
Fire,
Michoacan, bro. Gotta love
fire,
carnitas.
right? I mean, come on.
Yeah, yeah.
So then you got your recipe. You learned it. You're young at this age still, no? You're like what, 18 or something?
Nah, I'm not that young. I think I was about like my mid 20s. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So
A-
I was still
And
a little more.
And what's the first time that you did it yourself? What? How was that, dude? Like,
So the first time I made it at home, like I took it upon myself to just kind of buy everything that I needed,
hmm
and I just bought a few pounds of meat. I invited my cousins over. I invited some of my friends from work over, and we just kind of I made them, and I know they were cooked
hmm
because one of my cousins was there. He's a good cook too, and
hmm
he's just kind of like, they're not ready yet. They're not ready yet. And then we once they were ready, he's like, all right, they're good now.
yeah.
So I pulled them out and I started giving them to everybody, and everybody was just kind of looking at me like, hey, these are good. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
fire.
In my head, I was just like, I need to add less salt. I need to put more lemon. I need to put a little
hmm
bit more. I need
Because
to
it was your
dilute the
first
water.
time and
Yeah.
shit, right? Yeah,
So they
yeah.
were like, they're good. So again, my coworkers tried them. They
You
took
made a
some.
salsa with it too and everything your
You
first
know what?
time or
No,
no?
I didn't
No?
make a salsa.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll get to my
Sure,
famous
sure.
salsa part
Yeah.
right now. But anyway, so I just made it. We just made like salsa verde, right?
Uh-huh.
So anyway, so we're cooking and whatever, and I remember everybody was raving that they were good, and in my head, I was just thinking like that like, nah, I gotta make this better.
Oh, all
Like
right.
there's something
Yeah, yeah.
different. Something has to hit different.
hmm
So the second time, my buddies from work pitched in, and they're like, "Hey, fool, make us some carnitas." I'm
hmm
like, all right, cool. The first time I bought everything, so I was just kind of watching how much I spent because
Sure, sure.
I didn't know if it was gonna go to waste or if it was gonna be good.
hmm
Not because I'm a cheapskate,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I just wanted to make sure I didn't waste anything. The second time, I got more money than what I spent, so I tried to use as much of that money as I could to buy meat, but I couldn't buy too much because I had a small caso that my dad gave
All
me.
right.
So I bought meat, a lot more than we're all gonna be able to eat. They look cool because of big ass caso, de carnitas, and
Yeah,
at the
yeah.
end of the day,
And
that's
it
when
smells good too,
it
no?
smelled
Like,
good, bro.
yeah, yeah.
So then at the end, well, you know what? When you cook, you don't really eat, bro. I can't.
Estás todo ahumado and shit,
Like,
no?
you know what, bro? My eating habits from when I first started to now are way different.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, so I made the carne, came out good. The carnitas were fire. They were where I wanted them to be. I was that day.
Your
I
second
felt
time
really
and shit,
good, bro. I
yeah?
was proud, bro. I was like,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
this is it. So people took those carnitas. They took the leftovers home.
Oh, nice, nice.
But you can't eat a lot of carnitas, bro.
Yeah.
You could only eat so much, and then you're like, fuck, what am I gonna do with this? So I think
Yeah.
the people that took them started giving them away to people,
Mm-hmm.
and then 2 weeks later, people were like, hey, we're gonna pitch in again, because I know some people that want some carnitas,
Mm.
and I'm feeling all good, high on high cloud, you get a
Yeah,
pat in
yeah,
the
yeah, for
back,
sure.
bro.
You're
You're
like,
like, I'm gonna
man,
make
you
them. Let's
know?
do it. Let's
Yeah.
fucking do it. So I
Because at
made
this
some.
point, you're not really using your money either
Yeah,
and shit, no?
yeah,
So they're
so-
like basically paying you
Yeah.
and shit.
So I'm like, I get up anyways, bro.
Yeah.
I used to get up at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. I used to do a lot of oshpas, like working in hospitals. So
Oh,
we get up
okay.
at fucking 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning,
yeah.
bro. And I'm up, so I'm up, and I'm like, you know what? I'll go in my backyard and cook.
Yeah.
What even? How much more convenient can it be? So I got up, I made them. Those people that told someone else about it told someone else that they were gonna go pick up fresh carnitas.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't have 2 people showing up, bro. I had like 3, 4 people showing up with that from
That
that
one
one
person
person.
and shit. Yeah, yeah.
And I was like,
Word of mouth is
I'm
still
like,
the best
amen,
marketing
bro.
there is.
Yes,
and shit,
yes,
dude,
it is,
you know?
man.
Right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And I was in a pickle, bro. This is where they made me the bad guy, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how do you tell someone, no, I can't sell you this because I don't have enough?
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? And they were like, damn, but then it was pretty cool because you're still starting. So people are like, you know what? I want to place an order for the next time.
Yeah, yeah.
And I said, okay, next time I'll let you know. And you come, just let me
Mhm.
know, send me your money or whatever. So we sold out. Everything was good.
Mm-hmm.
And word of mouth. The people that didn't get the food were telling other people, we're going to go get carnitas from this guy. He makes it in his house and he takes it out. And,
Yeah, yeah.
he only makes a little bit. So
Yeah.
people, that automatically, bro, you're in demand.
And so it's trippy. It started like you just making them for friends, like because you wanted to make them because somebody asked you,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And now you're like, people are placing orders and
Now
shit,
people are
like,
placing
yeah.
orders, bro. So then I go to my dad again. And I'm like, papá, like, ocupo otro caso. He's like, pues, ¿dónde quieres que saque otro caso?
Yeah.
He's like, tienes que ir a Quiroga.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, fuck, a Santa Clara. And I was like, damn, Santa Clara's in Michoacán. And I'm like,
Mhm.
what am I going to do? So he talked to one of his friends that lives next door to him and says, hey, tengo un caso que te puedo vender. Porque
Mhm.
ocupas otro.
And the caso is basically just like
It's
a big pot.
copper cauldron.
Oh,
You know what I
there
mean?
you go.
So,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's a copper
It has to
pot.
be copper and shit too?
It has to be copper,
Yeah?
bro. And yeah.
Yeah?
It's me, it has to be copper.
Uh-huh.
I mean,
Alright.
For me, it has to be copper. I don't. If you ever take me to go eat carnitas, which I'll eat carnitas anywhere, bro.
Yeah.
Even I make them, I'll eat them.
Yeah, yeah.
But if it's not a if it's not copper,
You don't mess with it?
I don't fuck.
It has
I
to
don't-
do with the flavor or what? Like, you know?
I don't know what to
You
tell
don't
you,
know?
man.
Yeah.
I just doubt it.
Yeah.
You know
You
what I
doubt
mean?
it, yeah.
I doubt it, bro.
Yeah.
What kind of tools you carry?
You're like, this guy don't know what he's doing.
what kind of tools you carry, bro?
Right? Yeah.
What kind of electrical tools you got?
I mean, like brand wise, they're mixed because I haven't done it for a while, but I started with Ideal, dude, which is a cheap ass brand.
Mm-hmm.
But I went to
Klein?
what's that? The M one,
Milwaukee.
Milwaukee and
Okay.
shit. Yeah.
All right, yeah.
You're
so
like, I wouldn't hire you and shit.
fired. Nah. No, so
Yeah.
my
Your
tools.
DeWalt and shit.
I got taught, bro, with Klein.
Yeah. Okay.
After Klein, it was always like Nipex. You know what I
Mhm.
mean, like insulated tools. You know what I mean.
Sure,
So just kind of was taught that way. I was kind of spoiled with.
That's
with,
the good stuff, dude.
I was spoiled with these brands because of the people I was working with, because of my
Mhm.
mentors. But when it comes to mentoring through the food, it was also my dad is the biggest influence I had on the way I cooked.
Somebody
Um,
on the chat saying copper cooks evenly.
It does.
So,
That
I
person
guess-
knows what they're talking
Oh
about.
yeah,
Yeah.
Lisa, you know what's up, man.
Lisa
you
knows
know
what's up. Lisa's invited to the carne asada.
Yeah. She's in Canada, I believe, and shit.
So
And shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Nefarious, Reckless, Lisa, everybody, man. Appreciate y'all.
yeah. So
Mhm.
So that is very true. Copper heats up evenly. The metal heats up evenly, and
Mhm.
it cooks everything like evenly,
Mhm.
and that also has a lot to do with at the end product. When you want to look for a tender piece of meat, you don't really have to look for a tender piece of meat because everything cooked.
I see what you mean.
Right
Yeah,
way.
yeah. Mhm.
And there's another. It's like they say, bro. It's kind of you have to know what you're doing.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Because regardless if it cooks evenly, it could also burn evenly.
Oh, okay.
It could
Yeah.
also undercook evenly.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Well, if you leave the carnitas too long inside of a pot that has manteca, it has grease, it has lard and water, then you
Mhm.
just have oily meat. You know
Yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
So
Yeah, because I've seen my cousin make it. So it's funny because it does take a long time, right? From what my perspective was, but we use it as a drinking time.
of course.
Basically, you're chopping it
Yeah,
up.
bro,
right?
as Mexicans need any kind of excuse.
Yeah,
The sun
right?
came out, we need a drink.
But
Yeah.
one thing that I noticed is they're constantly watching it.
Yeah.
right? And they have like this big wooden thing or whatever and
Yeah.
shit, and
Uh-huh.
they're constantly,
Yeah.
so it is a process and shit,
It's
right?
it's a process, so we just kind of back to how we started and where we got to. We copper pots was how we were doing it. My dad wouldn't let me use anything else. He says
Hmm.
it's not gonna taste the same. Um, it started getting more challenging for me when it was cold outside, because even though the copper pot was cold, like the air still hits the top of the
Oh,
of
I
the
see.
and you
Hmm.
still have to kind of be like, you have to kind of move it but not mix it, if that
Sure,
makes
sure.
sense. You kind
Uh-huh.
of just have to let the waters rotate, like everything inside rotate, like everything circulate. Sorry, not rotate, circulate. So we got one here, and then I ended up flying to Michoacan. I bought 4 casos out there, and I brought them back on an airplane. I never
Hmm.
thought it was gonna be possible, but we were able to do it.
Yeah, yeah.
Once I got here, I had everything I needed, bro.
So you had
Um,
like multiple spots now and shit?
we
Yeah.
had one spot. It's always been my son and I cooking.
Mm-hmm.
My wife and then her aunt would help us like serve and like package
Mm-hmm.
salsas and make salsas up and stuff like that. It's always been a very like tight family ran business.
Nice.
Family tight and family, because it's always been my wife, my son, and I
Mm-hmm.
primarily in charge of mostly
Yeah, making
everything.
sure that it happens and shit,
Yeah,
right?
everybody
Yeah,
else that has been involved, it's been more of a kind of like a labor support, you know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
um
So
we on the first month that we did. Sorry, go ahead.
no, no, because I was gonna ask you, going back to your story, right, to keep it linear. Um, so people were asking you for orders. Now you need a bigger thing. You went and got all your
we,
stuff
we,
now.
we got the bigger one. It still wasn't enough.
Uh-huh.
The first one we got in, if it still wasn't enough, we were selling out like in an hour and a half at my house.
So more and more people are coming.
people are
Word of
just
mouth and
people are
shit.
just bringing other people. That was a snowball
Yeah.
effect.
Wow.
and
Yeah.
um
Yeah.
and then when I went to go get the other casos, it's when I really like unleashed the full potential of what this business was going to be. We started making about 6 to 700 pounds. I was getting up about 3 o'clock in the morning. My oldest son, Kevin, probably about like 8 or 9 o'clock, 8, 9, 10 at the time.
Mm-hmm.
He would get up and just help me clean around my area, because I mean I'm just like butchering and trying to
Sure. Sure.
trying to
Yeah.
make
Yeah.
sure I get everything right. I got it to the point where I was timing the casos where they were done 1 hour after each other, so it gave me an hour to
Oh,
sell a whole
nice.
caso.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we were up to like about 700 pounds in the second month, and I was starting to sell at 9 o'clock, and I would sell out by 1 p.m.
Yeah. So in the beginning, you're getting your meat from like a grocery store, no? Or you're going to a butcher?
So back then,
The 700 pounds. Now you really have to go
yeah,
through like
yeah, it was
right?
crazy, bro. Like
Yeah.
just getting the meat to my house was crazy. I tried so many different people in so many different ways,
Mm-hmm.
but my mom has always sold like food. You know what I mean? She's always kind of like did her food thing, and she had distributors she had dealt with. So when I kind of had a little bit of an insight
Oh,
on that.
nice, nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, that always makes
and
sense. Huh? It was like it was meant for you, huh? You know, in a way, right?
it was,
Yeah,
man. It was. I mean, I don't know if it was meant for me, but it was just kind of how we just kind of followed
sure.
the
Yeah, yeah.
footsteps. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we started selling in the
I
second
was
month.
reading because somebody said the burrito with chilaquiles muy chingón and shit. You
Oh,
know?
thank you,
Yeah,
thank
yeah,
you.
yeah.
Shout out, thank you,
That's
gracias.
Isidro. What's up, Easy man? Thanks for typing in, bro.
Appreciate that,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
So yeah, we just kind of we started making those carnitas, and people started coming in. People were bringing other people. The downfall at the house, when we had a good run at the house, like we were as we were as a like we were living the American dream, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
We're living the American
Because
dream.
you're working still. This is
Because I'm
something you're
still
doing
doing
on the side
electrical,
and
bro.
shit,
Yeah,
right? You know?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I
Like on a
mean,
weekend or something.
the vibe at the house was like a carne asada vibe, bro. Like people would come and bring their drinks, and they would come and kick it and chill. And I would sell out at one. People wouldn't leave my house at like 5 or 6.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
All right, so
You had to start getting tables and everything,
we
right?
got
Obviously.
tables,
Yeah, yeah.
canopies, and everything, bro. And
Mm-hmm.
everything it was all good over there. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Everything went good again. Like it was all love. Everybody that came in, bro, like it was just like all positive. It was never like anybody that came was happy to be there, and it was like always a very positive, very supportive like atmosphere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Um, and for the most part, it still is now. You know what I mean? It's just been a little bit. It's different in a restaurant now
Sure.
because even though you have the potential of different customers and more customers coming from other places, it's not people that know you. It's not
Mm-hmm.
people that heard of
Not the
you. It's
community
not
no more,
yeah,
no?
it's not word of
Yeah.
mouth. Now it's just people that heard of you.
Yeah.
People that seen you on a video.
Mm-hmm.
People that, Googled you.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Which is also a blessing, but at the
Mm.
same time, there's no connection.
Sure.
You know what I mean? There's no connection, and the connections are made when they come into the restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's like the first impression of you and
it
shit,
is,
no?
bro.
Yeah.
It is, and it's been like sometimes
But sorry, but going back there, when you were doing the carnitas, you were already selling sides too and everything,
no,
or puras carnitas and
just
tortillas and
carnitas,
shit.
salsas, and tortillas. That
Oh,
was it.
really? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then, so it's going good, obviously, right? It's always busy. You're always selling out. Um, when is the thought of you owning a restaurant come in? Like, I need a location. Like, you don't want
Okay.
people at your house no more, or
So,
like,
so we started in 2013 at the
for
house.
sure ya no cabían and shit,
Ya no
no?
cabían, ya
Yeah.
no cabían. So we
Yeah.
started in 2013 at the house. Um, we ran all the way until about 20. I say about 20, like 28, end of 2018, beginning of 2019. And one of my neighbors saw what we were doing. He didn't have a house. He lived in an apartment building,
Mm-hmm.
and he tried to do the same thing. And to not get into too many details, he got us caught up. He got himself caught up, and he got myself caught up.
All right.
And
Like the city and shit, kind of.
the
Yeah,
city
yeah.
came in and they found out about us, and they shut us down.
Mm-hmm.
They came to my house, said that they heard a report that we're selling food. They never caught me. They never fined me. They fined me because the code enforcement. They were not supposed to fine me, but they fined me because the code enforcement officer came to my house, and he reached over my gate and saw that we had some tables that were already put away.
Oh, all right.
But he used that as evidence, so he was able to send us a citation. It was like
Oh, that sucks.
It was like
Yeah.
$2,500 just for
Yeah,
having
yeah.
tables at my house, bro.
Yeah.
So, anyways, that
For all they
happened.
know, you like to party every
Yeah,
weekend.
hey, bro,
and
you know what I'm
shit,
saying? So that happened, and then I said, you know what? We're gonna go to like an unincorporated part of the city,
Mm-hmm.
which was in Lenox, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just set up there and see if it hits, if it works out, and whatnot. So then we went out there, and we obviously we blew up.
Yeah.
Everything was going good. Um, the landlord there was the guy who told me was the landlord wasn't really the landlord.
Oh man, you're like
And
subleasing and
When
shit.
his brother found out what he was doing, his brother just came and said, "Hey, you know what? Like, we need to get this right. We can't let you just sell food. He wanted me to get insured in case somebody got hurt on his property, which was all good with me, but
Sure.
because the brother wasn't making the money anymore, he
Mhm.
called the city on me, and boom, they hit us and they shut us
Oh,
down.
man.
That happened for about a year, so
Yeah.
they shut us down.
Because just for the record, it is expensive to do a legit business and shit, no?
Man,
Like
it's-
just with permits.
Oh yeah,
Because you don't sell alcohol tampoco. You
No.
sell alcohol, yeah.
No,
So
yeah.
that's a different
Yeah.
animal within itself
Yeah.
and shit, no? Like they really make it difficult for
Yeah.
you, no? Right?
Yeah. So anyways, like we had it shut down. This was like probably like the beginning of COVID, which was really good for us because people were not leaving their houses, bro. So when they had an opportunity to go eat some carnitas during COVID, they were like, "Fuck, like we're gonna go take some for the family. The family's gonna come over, and that's all you could do."
Yeah.
Restaurants were closed down,
Mm-hmm.
so
Like doing pickup only and
yeah,
shit,
just pick
right?
up only,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
Pick up and go. So
And my bad, but shout out Drews, man. Appreciate you stopping by, bro. You know? Yeah, definitely. Hood Star TV, man. You know?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. And shout out to everybody on this podcast, man, taking your time.
Yeah, for sure, man.
To
you
hear
know?
my story, I want to thank you as well, bro, for having us over here, man.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
It's a pleasure, man. I really enjoy sharing our story and letting people know where we come from.
Yeah,
you know,
definitely. You're gonna have a lot of people pull up and
man.
you know, people will pull up to try them and give you props, or they'll pull up to prove that it ain't fire and shit.
Yeah,
you know
it's
how
all
it
right.
is, no? Like,
Yeah, it's all right, bro.
Yeah, you're gonna get a
Whatever.
little bit of everything and shit, man.
you know, like what they say, all
Mm.
all publicity is good publicity.
Yeah, there
so
you
it's all
go,
good.
man. You know.
So yeah, so we were shut down, bro, and then by this point, being shut down again at the house, my wife and I were already kind of like saying, hey, you know what, we're done. We took some trips, we saved some money.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's time to throw in the towel. Like
Sure.
it was a good run.
Because you're getting like basically challenged in a way, no? Like,
Yeah.
man, you know, like, yeah.
Yeah, and one of the things that happened when we did that, when we said we were done, we had people coming to our house looking for us, bro. They were leaving letters under our door, in our mailbox, on our cars, at our neighbors' houses. Some of our neighbors didn't even know we sold food, bro. They were like, "They sell food? I thought he was an electrician." But because I would always have my electrical truck in my driveway, you know what I mean? And I had a company car and everything, so they would always see that. They would have never imagined I was selling food. And then I have a really good friend of mine, Luis Corral, who's been a really, 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 really supportive person. One of my close and very good friends, and he used to be a part distributor manager for Inglewood, for Inglewood region, and he took me to the location where we're at today. He said, "Hey, I know a guy. He's leasing his restaurant. He's the owner. He has a mechanic shop there, and he's leasing a restaurant. And he's like, you may want to go talk to him. You know,
That's cool and shit, huh?
yeah, bro. He literally led me to my destiny, bro, and took me there. I met the owner, Jose, who's been very helpful. He's another man that gave us an opportunity, and you know, I feel like honestly, all these doors were opened by God. You know what I mean? And
Yeah, because you were about to give up, no?
yeah. And every time, bro, it's like something knocked on our door, and you know, I wasn't ignoring signs, and I was asking God for I was thanking Him all the time. Don't like to ask God for anything. I just like to thank Him for all the blessings I've had.
Sure.
I've been blessed as an electrician. I've been blessed as a restaurant owner, blessed as a father, blessed as a husband, and you know, he took us to Jose. He took me to Jose. Jose gave me the opportunity. All of our journey in this restaurant has been like there've been miracles, bro. Miracles. I never would have thought from the short 4 years of what I've done in this restaurant as a business owner, bro, that I would ever it wouldn't be nowhere in my like my mind, bro. I mean, like I
That's
would
the
have
trip,
never
right?
thought,
Yeah, like you're dreaming and shit. Yeah.
bro. I mean, I've had people come and pull me straight out of the deep sea, bro, to help me get up and see the sun. You know what I mean?
Nice. Yeah.
And it has been people that have been sent, you know, like that
Sure.
I've been blessed, you know, and I've been blessed with. Um, the Rams have came to my restaurant.
Yeah.
I've had not only just players, but the organization itself.
Yeah.
I've been
Yeah, I seen that. And how did that come about, dude? You know, like.
so I had a guy came in and he was wearing a Rams shirt. I recognized the logos. You know, we're Rams fans for sure. You know, like we've been Rams fans. Not Rams fans from when they came to LA. We've been
St.
Rams
Louis
fans,
friends
bro.
and shit?
We've been before St. Louis, bro.
Yeah, before.
You know, we just like we know it was from LA. I don't like the Raiders, so I couldn't be a Raider fan.
Yeah.
But the Rams are always the Rams. You know what I mean? So anyways, I recognized this guy's shirt. I just asked him like, hey, you know what? I didn't see that shirt at the. I knew he was not a fan. I knew he was working for the organization.
Sure.
SoFi had just, you know, opened their doors that year, and I seen him in there. He was trying the food. He said, "Yeah, man, you know, like I wanted to try your food. We like supporting small businesses." Shout out to Gabriel Jimenez, by the way. So he came and he's like, "You know what? Do you like the Rams? Are you guys Rams fans?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm a Rams fan." And he's like, "Are you really a Rams fan?" So I pulled out my phone and I show him pictures of my son and I going to the games at the Coliseum, pictures that we have taken. And he's like, "Do you want to become a certified Rams house?" And I'm like, "Yeah, but what does that mean?" He's like, "Oh, you know, we're gonna bring you like, you know, like 50 shirts, 20 shirts, so you can give out to your customers, and we'll just set up a little table here, and you know, we'll hook you guys up." And I'm like, "All right, cool." So they gave us a date. That date, you know, like again, we used to host people. We used to host people at my house, bro. So I told my wife like, "Hey, the Rams are coming," you know. She's like, "Oh my God," you know, she's went crazy, bro, with decorations. She's like, "We got to do this, that, and the other." We reached out to a friend of ours, Lorena, Angels Touch Events. She came and she came out and she decked us out, bro.
Nice.
You know what I mean? She put in like turf grass. She put lounge chairs. She themed out my whole restaurant, Rams inside everywhere. I wouldn't be amazed. I don't remember going into the restroom that day, but if my toilet water wasn't blue, bro, I wouldn't be amazed it was because that's how detailed this girl is, right?
Yeah.
So when the Rams showed up, you know, they show up in like a little car with like a little box of T-shirts and like 3 balloons, and they're like, "Gustavo, we didn't know you're gonna do all of this. We're gonna put our 3 balloons back in the car, and we need to get you something else," you know. And we had like a lot of customers there, so they brought out Rampage, the mascot. They brought in like the Rams cheerleaders and like one of the Rams trucks. They gave me a Artista jersey, bro. Like,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, they
that's
hooked
dope.
us
Yeah,
up,
yeah.
bro. I had a DJ there, so
Uh-huh.
man, we had so many people coming in and out of that place. It
Mhm.
was, it was a blessing, you know, and it really put us on the map, and it showed our, you know, like our love and our dedication for the NFL team that we root for. And I remember one of the biggest things where we used to be like, you know, people used to get mad about talking about like when they started defending their teams, you know, like,
Yeah,
what's your
yeah.
team done for you? Why are you sticking up for them? I'm
Yeah,
like, well,
yeah.
I got something to say what my team has done for me.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? And that is my team. You know, I'm not one of those bandwagoners. You know what
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Like I know people out there. You know, they go out for other teams and they see that the Rams are in the city now. You know, and they're like, oh, you know, we're Rams fans. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
man,
yeah.
get out of here. Yeah, I ain't
Yeah.
Rams fans. Like that. But anyways, that's them. To each their own. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, for
If
sure.
you wanna jump on the bandwagon and you wanna support my team, thank you, man. That
There
just
you
makes
go,
us
man.
deeper.
You
That
know?
just makes us
Yeah, yeah,
stronger,
yeah.
man. But y'all know the real ones are the real ones. And you know, I'm very proud of this team, and I'm very proud that that they do this for the community.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That they support small businesses, bro. And if you know, I've been to events of the other LA team, and they're nothing like the Rams, bro.
Oh yeah.
Nothing like the Rams, man.
Mhm.
The Rams are definitely they're wholehearted. I think they're like everybody I've met in that organization has always been very supportive of the
Yeah.
community.
They show a lot of love to the season ticket holders as well too and shit, you know?
As a season
Yeah.
ticket holder as
Mhm.
well, bro. Like they
Yeah.
show us a lot of love, man.
Yeah.
And you know, like they do a lot of stuff in the city too, man. They're
Mhm.
always giving out food. They're always like in around the holiday times. They're
Mhm.
supportive of the community,
Yeah.
supportive of the businesses, supportive like you know, like it's like a really it's a really cool thing, bro. And that moment they propelled my business as well.
Yeah.
You know
yeah.
what I mean? They introduced us there to SoFi, you know. That led to opportunities for us to make. We're the first and only carniceros in the world to make a caso of carnitas on an NFL football field or any football field or any sports field to make carnitas on one, bro. Official building. So
Oh really? Yeah, that's dope.
We
Yeah,
did
yeah.
it. We did it when Grupo Firme announced their tour
I saw that.
in
yeah.
Los Angeles. SoFi Stadium was one of the biggest, you know, stadiums that could have been filled by anybody. It was sold out like I think it was at three nights in a row that they sold out.
And then
When-
they got you as a vendor to go and cook for them, or
No, what happened was they had for their media release date.
Uh-huh.
They said that they were looking for. They wanted. So their theme was really, you know, they're Mexican. You know, they're from Tijuana and Culiacan, and they were looking for something a Mexican theme type deal. So Edwin Gas had like folklorico dancers and bandas and everything. So he wanted a Mexican themed like media release date.
Oh, all right.
Media
Yeah, yeah.
press release date.
Uh-huh.
So they told me they went to 3 different places to try carnitas. That they went to downtown. They went.
We won't name the restaurant.
I'm not gonna name the restaurants, bro. And I don't do that. And again, I'm not the best, bro, and I don't claim to be the best.
It's everybody's palate. They had the palate.
Hey
know?
man, you know what? I don't know what happened that day. I don't know what they were feeling, but they hit my restaurant because somebody referred them to the Carnita restaurant in Inglewood, and I was, and this is a true story. I was at Sizzler, bro. All right, I'm not gonna lie. Guilty pleasure, Sizzler. I was at Sizzler having a one of those microwave lobsters and a steak, just because I'm tired of eating carnitas every day. I don't eat them every day, you know. Sometimes I change it up. But yeah, I was in there, bro. I just remember the plate about to hit the table, and my cousin calls me. And she's working us. She's helping us at the restaurant. She's like, "Hey, there's some guy here. He says he owns Grupo Firme," and I'm just like, I'm looking at my food. And I'm like, I mean, again, you know, I'm like, what? I'm like, what? I'm like, I'm about to eat right now. I'm like, what's going on? So who is it? What's his name? She's like, he said his name is Isael or Misael or something like that. And I'm like, I already know because I, you know, I'm a fan.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what does he look like? He's a chubby guy. He's wearing glasses and he has a really thick, like, diamond chain. And I'm like, okay, tell him if he can give me 5 minutes and I'll be right there. And he goes, okay. So she's on the phone telling him, lo espera, ya ahorita está aquí a la vuelta. Dice, sí, aquí lo esperamos, dame los tacos. And when I heard that, I was like, oh shit. I told my cousin, I said, look, you better make sure you make these the best tacos you've ever made in your life, okay? Like, I do not want you to miss this opportunity for us. She's like, okay, primo, okay. So I get in the car, bro, and I'm like like I left my food there. Obviously, it didn't matter at that point. My
Yeah,
hunger
yeah.
went away. I get to the restaurant and I have Misael and his brother standing at the counter of my restaurant.
Damn, that's
My
dope,
heart
right? You know,
dropped, bro.
the Rams, now the group of Firme
I
and
got
shit.
Grupo
You know.
Firme's owner, bro, and he's like,
Mm.
"Hey," he goes, he's like, and I know, I think he said this very sarcastically. He's like, "Is it okay si le puedo llamar a los muchachos para que vengan a comer?"
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "Yeah." So boom, two fucking tour buses show up, bro.
Yeah,
The first tour bus was Edwin and the gang. The second one was the banda and the folklorico dancers and everybody.
yeah, yeah.
I closed my restaurant, bro. Like I'm like they're in there eating, like eating. Damn, this is good. Flicking their fingers, like man, this is
Oh, that's
está
fire,
bien
man.
bueno,
That's fire.
está bien esto y que el otro.
Yeah, yeah.
They're like, hey, ¿nos puedes hacer un caso de carnitas en el SoFi? And I was like, yeah, lo que ustedes quieran.
Mm-hmm.
So then his manager comes up and says, like, all right, Vicente Zambrano came up and he's like one of their road managers. He's like, hey, he's like, here, take my number. Voy a estar en contacto contigo y esto y que yo creo que me lleves de todo y que me hagas lo más chingón que puedes hacer.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, okay. He's like, pero nada más puedes llevar a 5 personas.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just kind of like, okay. I'm like, all right. Like,
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
even think about
Yeah,
it, bro.
you
I'm
were
just
like,
like,
I'm pull up
whatever. I'm not
myself
like,
and
I'm
shit,
still like,
right?
bro, I'm still like,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
besides myself that these people are here, And I'm just
Mhm.
like, not even realizing what the hell's going on. I didn't even think to pull out phones and take pictures or
Mhm.
nothing, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Living in the moment and shit.
Bro, I don't even know if I was living in the moment. I thought I was dead, bro, and dreaming. But yeah, so it happened, and then we went to SoFi. They were like, Grupo Firme was so big at the time, bro, that they didn't want to let us cook on the field.
Mm.
They were like, no, they're like, well, the fire department won't allow us to
Oh, sure.
put an open flame down there.
Yeah,
And I remember Edwin Cass saying, look, if they don't bring that caso down there, I'm not doing the concert here.
yeah. Oh, sure.
And I was just like, is this fool just really fighting for me right now?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like, is
For the
Edwin Cass like
carnitas
saying
and shit, huh?
like you better bring my man down there right
Yeah,
now?
yeah, yeah.
Like I'm like I know it was for him, but I was just feeling like he wanted me to be there. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
So
yeah.
anyway, so yeah, bro, they took us all the way to the bottom, and then I'll give you a clip so we could insert so they could see right there, bro. And Edwin Cass walks up with his chest all out. He's like, "Yep." He
Oh,
goes
yeah,
in
yeah.
there. He grabs a taco. He's like dancing and shit. It was cool, bro. Like everybody was there. Like all the guys were they were eating. They were taking carnitas out. They were
So
making
this is like the
themselves
press
tacos.
also here taking
This
the
is the
food and shit,
press.
right?
This is
Yeah,
channel. This is everybody, bro.
Yeah.
This is like everybody and everybody. I
Mhm.
mean, it was the first time a Mexican genre group had sold out 3 nights in such a big stadium anywhere
Oh man. Yeah,
in the
yeah.
United States.
Mhm.
Okay, so yeah, obviously in Mexico it's gonna be done, right?
Sure,
But
sure.
over here in the United States, and then a
A
SoFi
brand new
stadium,
stadium and shit, right?
fucking
Yeah.
like like it was
Yeah.
unheard of. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? Now, um, I think I think it was I think the Bookies came and took that record from them.
Yeah.
But talking
But
about
they're the Wookiees,
the
though, too, and
Wookiees
shit,
compared
right?
to Grupo
They're like
Firme, bro.
generational right
You
now.
know what I
and
mean?
shit.
Like
Yeah.
they just had the Bookies is like every son, daughter, mother, grandmother, and
Yeah.
tío and tía going to
Pops
that
and
thing.
everybody and
But
shit.
for
Yeah,
Grupo Firme, bro, like you just had it was just a younger generation.
Yeah.
The genre was different.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, anyways, it was unheard of, bro, and it was such a big deal for us, bro, and we've been blessed to do that. We've done other artists from RB Music, the RB Music label. RB Music runs Marca Registrada,
Mhm.
Pancho Barraza, Roberto Tapia. Um,
You've done events for them as well
yeah,
too. And
yeah,
shit.
we're
Yeah, you've been blessed, bro. That's
yeah,
good
man,
because that
yeah,
helps you also get the
yeah,
your restaurant known in a way,
yeah,
right? You know?
yeah.
Yeah.
We've had one of our biggest I think recently, like, let's talk about guys that are recent right now, like Peso Pluma has people come and
Mhm.
pick up food for him, like.
All right.
When he's
Yeah,
in
yeah.
town, they come like once a month for sure.
Yeah.
They tell me who it's for. They call me and they tell me I can't. He's real strict on his social media, so we haven't got any pictures with him or anything.
Sure,
But
sure.
like his cousins, everybody that's with that label, bro, they're with us, bro, and they
Mhm.
back us up. And I'm just grateful for the business. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
the clout is the clout, and it's good, but I'm not in this for the clout.
Sure, sure.
I'm not in this to be, like I know my name is El Artista and people don't know why they call me that. I'm gonna let you guys know
Yeah, I
right
was
now.
gonna ask you that too. That's
But
you know.
it's not to be famous, bro. It's not to be popular. Like, it's just it's a coincidental, ironic name that I have. But for me, bro, like my main goal is to give out carnitas michoacanas tradicionales.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Anybody can bite a style, bro, but you can't bite tradition off of
Yeah,
somebody.
yeah, that's
You know what I
definitely
mean? And
dude.
it, yeah.
And then going back to like your restaurant and stuff and doing it from your house, bro. Like, what are the differences of running like we talked about this earlier, like of running a restaurant from your house to having a location and shit, dude. You know?
Yeah, so obviously at the house, bro, it's a little bit more it's a loose, it's a little bit more like loose. It's more it's unofficial, which means that you can just be a little bit more welcoming in ways that in a restaurant people won't understand.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like you come to somebody's house, you already feel welcome because you're in their personal space, you're in their
Sure.
house.
Yeah.
You're like you feel like it's love, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So we are we are in a place now where the public is very judgmental, very unforgiving,
Yeah.
very sometimes some people they feel entitled.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I've as an owner, I get to see all the waste from the people that show up to the restaurant, from the stuff they leave behind. And I remember when I was at the house, like everything was pre-packaged. People would buy a pound of carnitas, I would throw some salsas in there, give them their food, and they would be on their way, and they would just love everything about
Mm-hmm.
the experience. Now we have to go a little bit further out on a limb to give people that experience that they're looking for in a restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? People are more unforgiving in a restaurant because I think it's just like there's a standard that people are feel that they expect from us, and there's a little bit more of entitlement because from some people because they want they buy a pound of carnitas, bro. They want to take enough salsa for like they want to take every single salsa that we have in the house.
Mm.
You know what I mean? What like it puts me in a tough position
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
because the way things are so expensive right now, the way things are going with
Yeah.
us,
And you might not even need all that salsa and shit.
they don't,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
don't, bro. But again, at the same time, like if you want to try everything and if you want to keep a customer, it's two different people with two different points
Sure.
of thoughts. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
Like two point of views, and I just gotta. It makes it hard for us, bro. Like like making money in a restaurant is different than making money at a house. I pay my rent and I'm gonna live there. I'm gonna wake up the next day
Yeah,
and
yeah.
and I have to live there.
Yeah.
But I'm making money in a restaurant. If I don't make the money, bro, I'm not gonna have that restaurant.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And that's been a big challenge for us, where we try to do quality control, we try to do inventory control, and like people come and they'll eat, they'll we'll give them a plate. For instance, right? You serve something to them in a plate that you bought for, that you paid for, and you're like, this is your stuff, and it's
Mm-hmm.
not a plate we can wash. You know what I mean? It's not like you're going to a Denny's and you're like they wash the plate that they take away, and now you're asking for a to-go plate. People don't understand that drives up our cost.
Sure, sure.
You know what I mean? And you try to give somebody a piece of foil, like, oh, can we cover that plate up for you and put it in a bag? Don't you have a plate?
Yeah,
And I'm
yeah.
just like, for half of a burrito, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I got a plate for you, of course. You know what I mean? Like I know, I understand. I'm in the
In the restaurant
hospitality
business
business,
and shit. Yeah.
which is a hospitality. Restaurant
Yeah.
business is the
Mhm.
hospitality
Yeah.
business, and just some people, it's just a little bit less forgiving in that sense, where people just kind of look at it like they come and they just they don't see that side of it for that we do. You know what I
Sure,
mean?
sure.
And at the end of the month, when we're looking at costs of like where we could have saved, like damn, you have the items you sold. So like let's say for example, I sold 2,000 items that month,
Mm-hmm.
but then I have 3,000 to go plates that went.
Sure, sure.
You know what I mean? That means I was like double spending,
Mm-hmm.
double spending. And we get those reports. You know what I mean? If you're my POS system gives me that.
Yeah,
Like it
yeah.
tells me like what we're sending, what we're selling. The to go plates are for the pickup items,
Sure,
and
sure.
the dine in items are for here. You know what I
Sure,
mean?
sure.
So it helps us with those type of inventory controls. And I know I'm getting really extensive into it, but at the end of the day, it's a bottom line that we're trying to hit,
Yeah.
and it's really really
Yeah,
impactful.
you have to have your profit margin basically and
Yeah,
stuff, no? Like
yeah,
what you're trying to make a
yeah,
month to survive,
yeah,
basically, or
yeah,
like for it to pay itself and make profit, no?
yeah,
Otherwise,
yeah.
it's not. You're just losing money, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, and then like at this point, where we're at right now, let's like since we're on this kind of subject, like with the ice raids and everything is going on, that's
Hmm.
not just my business, everybody's business right now. We need our customer support,
Yeah, yeah.
like all of us. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? We've from everyone that I've spoken to that owns a business, we've all been hit with a reduction of business of clientele because our business clients, our clientele, our people, our landscapers, our people that are doing hard
Sure,
labor
sure. Yeah,
jobs
yeah,
and
yeah.
that are are immigrant families,
Hmm.
and they're the reason why we're in business. They're the reason why we started business
Sure,
because
sure.
our economy was so strong that you're like, you know what, this is a good economy to start a restaurant.
Hmm.
You're like, oh, my restaurant will be successful. It hasn't been because you know primarily the Rams came and gave us publicity, or a group of
Sure,
female was
sure.
here and they gave us one
Those are
catering. It's
just the
like, no,
cherries on top and
those are
shit, no?
that's
Yeah.
the people that see that are the ones that come to support us, and it's been the majority have been migrant families that have been here
Sure,
and
sure.
that contribute to us, and that's the tough part about it. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? We get dragged into a lot of stuff. We get dragged into like like the political stuff. We get
Yeah.
dragged into community difference situations, and
Yeah, like that's affecting your business,
yeah,
right?
of
Yeah,
course,
yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
and
Because a lot of the like our people, they're like don't want to go out,
mhm,
basically, no, like or take a risk of being like on a big street or
yeah,
somewhere,
yeah.
like yeah,
I
or
re-
some have even been deported and shit,
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
I remember back, when his first term, bro, we would joke around about trompas this, trompas that, and
sure,
people would
sure,
laugh it off.
yeah.
And it sucks that right now we're at that point where like
That shit ain't
that
funny no
humor,
more,
it
huh?
ain't funny no more,
Yeah,
bro. It's
yeah,
you talk about him and there's like
yeah.
it's a whole different reaction towards him,
No, that definitely,
and I
man.
don't want to get political because
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
not my
for
thing,
sure.
but
Yeah, yeah.
I'm just saying as far as like what the effects of having a business
Mm-hmm.
is that it's tough, bro.
Mm-hmm.
It's tough. We get pulled into a lot of things that we don't expect, and a lot of things I never expected. Um, I thought my worst and hardest thing was gonna be to deal with Niner fans coming into my restaurant, bro, because we are Rams house.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
but you know what? It's all love. It's like
Sure,
even
sure.
when they came in, bro, they're a little weary, and I crack a joke, I break the ice, bro, and they're in there, and I
Yeah,
appreciate them coming to my restaurant. I
yeah, yeah,
appreciate everybody coming to my
yeah,
restaurant.
yeah.
But when it has something to do with something that's out of our hands that we can't control, like ice and families being scared to come out,
Yeah.
I get scared, bro.
Yeah.
Like I get scared, man. As a
Mhm.
restaurant owner, I've been scared, and I'm not gonna say I don't. I get worried, um, sleepless nights, bro. Sometimes just because like business is not where it used to be before.
Sure.
The uncertainty of where we're gonna be, like in the next year if
Yeah.
this continues.
If this
You know what I
continues,
mean?
yeah, that's the thing that you don't know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
we've been in process of opening up another restaurant in Inglewood
Oh,
on
okay.
Hawthorne and Hardy on La Brea and Hardy,
Mhm.
and with the reduction of the businesses, it has really been stressful.
Mhm.
It's been very it's changed a lot. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
The perspective of opening it, right?
The perspective, the ambition,
Mhm.
the like everything, bro. Everything. It's been like, like never thought I'd have to, change my game plan in opening this restaurant because, like I'm in it now. Like what can I do? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But with the way things are going, it's just something we just have to adapt to. We got to keep pushing forward, and hopefully, it'll if it's for us, bro, it's gonna be for us. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
So yeah,
Mhm.
so that's where it's at.
Yeah,
But
that's what I'm
yeah,
saying. You got to
it's
keep
tough.
positive and shit,
It's
man.
tough, bro. Always, bro.
So there are
Always.
challenges with basically cost of materials from your house,
Oh
like
yeah,
from
everything.
running that
Mm-hmm.
and then hiring people too, no?
Yeah,
Because when you're in your house, your family helps. I'm sure your family still helps, but
yeah,
you need cooks, no?
yeah.
Because
I don't want.
like,
I don't want to get into the employee thing.
yeah, there you go,
Be
right?
careful.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And then so we've touched a lot on like what do you think separates your carnitas from everybody else? Like Northgate, right? Or like they're a popular place, no? Or they have like the taco stands, that are selling carnitas just on the side. I think there's a spot right here on Prairie too, no, in Hawthorne.
Yeah.
And again, right, like what do you think from your heart? Like, what's the difference from your carnitas and shit?
Look, I'm not gonna say
Besides that, you make
what
them.
anybody.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say what anybody does is not as good as what I do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna say that from what I do is different from anywhere I've been through because I'm following
Mm-hmm.
a traditional way of cooking,
Uh-huh.
and I'm not following a style.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's like anybody, like anybody can buy some Nikes and rock them however they want.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And my thing is like like I'm the guy that sewed up those Nikes. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So like if when and what I mean by that is like if anybody here thinks like like when I bring up carnitas to people and they ask me, oh, where you from, Michoacan? Oh yeah, you probably make them right because you're from
Oh, all right.
Michoacan.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, you know what? Like
They trust the tradition and
we're
shit.
following a tradition, bro. You know,
Yeah.
like my family's cooked it like that. After I learned from my uncle, my aunt's husband, I went back. Back, I always go back to Tangancicuaro, and I've been back and like I've talked to my cousins, to my uncles, and I've told them. They asked me, how do I make them? What do you do? What do you put in them? And they're like, that's the way to make them. That's how we would make them out there. That's how my uncles out there would make them. So it's the process.
Oh, okay.
It's not really what you put in them, it's the process that you use.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? If they want to ask me what my tradition is, what my style is my family style.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And that's what we do. You know what
Oh,
I
okay.
mean? So
Yeah.
what everybody else does is what they do. And if somebody ever gives us the opportunity to let us let them try our food is gonna reflect based off of what we've been eating in our family parties for a long time, bro.
Nice. Somebody said, does the tariffs affect your business and shit?
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
In what aspect do you know?
So tariffs,
Because you must
drive up the
import
prices.
your prices for the
So-
cups and stuff like that, right?
yeah. So that has us again. Like we're you ever been into like let's say a Chinese food place and you ask them for a cup of ice?
Mm-hmm.
How much they charge you for that cup of ice?
75 cents sometimes. And shit.
$1.
Yeah.
And if you think about going to the store and you look at how much a pack of cups costs, it's probably like $4. So
Mhm.
each that cup is costing them about 3.12 cents.
Sure.
Right now, bro, that cup costs about 15 cents
All right.
itself.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And if you times that, with the amount of customers that come in
Mm-hmm.
and they're again asking for these things that cost money,
Or
that,
napkins
like,
and
I
all
mean,
that
yeah.
stuff, right? I mean,
Yeah,
little
I
shit,
mean,
right? That you would think is like
and you-
normal.
well, you think you're like, oh, you
Yeah.
know what? But everybody needs napkins. Yes,
Yeah.
everybody needs napkins,
Yeah.
but sometimes we just don't. Like it's like like it's things that we don't understand that come from other countries because
Sure.
the U.S. doesn't produce it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like all of this.
Otherwise,
stuff
it would be 35 cents. And
yeah.
shit,
So
right?
if you ever been to downtown
Mm.
LA, bro, and you see all these plastic cups and you see all these styrofoam plates, which some of you can't even use anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Plastic bags,
Mm-hmm.
paper bags. All of this stuff comes from other countries.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the inflation has hit us too.
Yeah.
I mean, back then, bro, I used to buy a box of limes for about $25, $18, $25 the most.
Mm-hmm.
In Semana Santa, which is like like our Easter,
Yeah.
bro, lemons are like $125 a box.
Oh, shit.
I
Damn.
feel bad for the people that make mariscos, bro,
Yeah.
because they go through boxes and boxes. I'm only using like 2 boxes for my customers to eat with their tacos.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm buying a ceviche for like $15 right now, man.
Bro, they're not even
it's
fit
crazy,
where, bro. Tell me, because that's a hookup, bro. No, ceviches are like 17 to 20 bucks.
It's
bro.
crazy, right?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, like, you know what? I remember street tacos.
Mm-hmm.
You can get a street taco for like $2, bro.
Oh, not no more.
They're like
yeah.
$3.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
sell one taco for $5,
Yeah.
but it's a regular size tortilla, and it has
loaded
a
and
little
shit.
bit less than a quarter pound of meat on it.
Mhm.
But it has a lot of meat.
Yeah.
You only need 2 tacos at my restaurant, bro, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. You don't need more, bro.
And that's one thing I was gonna ask you actually that I wanted to touch on. As you run a restaurant, how do you do pricing? Like, who taught you what a pound? I mean, obviously you know what you're buying a pound of meat for and what you have to sell it for, process and all that. But like, that's something you learned yourself and shit.
You know what, bro? What I did was comparisons.
Mhm.
To like other people selling carnitas.
Okay, yeah.
And again, it's different, right? People don't understand sometimes like what our concept is. My concept is we're a specialty store.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
El artista.
It's El
Yeah,
Artista.
yeah, yeah.
A specialty, pero es porque
Yeah.
especializamos en carnitas.
Uh-huh.
Entonces, si vas a mi restaurante, vas a comer carnitas.
Sure.
You know, you're going to go eat carnitas at my
That's
restaurant.
why right now you were like, can't believe this food compared me to North Korea and shit. Yeah.
Nah, it's all good. Well, you know what? It's a good
I was
comparison.
giving examples and shit.
But check it
dude,
out.
you
It's a
know?
good.
Yeah.
It's a very good comparison, actually, because have you ever seen barbecue ribs at Northgate?
I don't think so. Shit.
They have them there.
Yeah. I've
So-
seen they have a lot of shit.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
you
yeah,
go in
for
there
sure.
and you'll see some barbecue. You'll see some barbecue ribs right there, and
Uh-huh.
it's like $11 for a slab.
Uh-huh.
Can you get $11?
No.
If you go to any barbecue place and get a slab for
No.
$11,
No.
you're looking at 20, 30
For
bucks.
sure, at least. Yeah.
All right, bro. So when people come and they try our carnitas, they're like, okay, yeah, they taste a lot different. They're really, really good. Why?
Mhm.
Because my shit hasn't been sitting there for a day and a half in under the heat lamp.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
made them that morning, and you're eating them right
Yeah.
then and there.
And that's another
what I mean?
question I have for you too is, am I bad?
No.
You make them every day,
Every day.
and you sell out.
We don't sell out.
Okay.
And that's like one of the things that where people don't understand how we get these fresh carnitas.
Sure.
I have loncheras that buy my carnitas.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good. You get creative with a process, like
We gotta
for
make
sure.
money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Either
So-
that, or you got to start finding a charity to give them away to, and then now you're
which we
losing
also
money,
do.
right?
We
Yeah,
also do
okay.
that too.
Yeah.
We do that too.
Mhm.
So there's a charity that we donate to, that they feed. It's a food bank.
Mhm.
And it's not the LA food bank. It's another food bank. What
Sure.
they do is they take hot meals from restaurants and they put these meals together and they distribute.
Oh, nice.
But
nice.
we don't know where they go or who.
Yeah.
We just know who.
But
who
somebody's
we give
getting
them to.
fed, dude. That's good, man. You're doing
eating
a
them,
good
bro.
thing right there, too,
Yeah.
man.
So you know, and that we only sell that when it's like that's done more like on the weekends,
Mhm.
because on the weekends we do make bigger batches and we do have more
Yeah.
left over.
Like Sunday's
and,
your biggest time, I would think, right? Saturday, Sundays.
Friday,
yeah?
Saturday, Sundays are our biggest days.
Okay. Yeah.
Fridays, Thursdays, and Fridays used to be one of our like Friday, Saturday, Thursday, Friday, and Sunday used to be our best days
Mm-hmm.
before ice.
Oh, okay.
Thursdays and Fridays are your general construction days that get paid. Right?
Oh,
We all
okay.
get
Yeah,
paid
yeah.
those days. We used to
Yeah.
get paid those days. So I would have the construction crews come and buy food for like the whole crew.
Sure,
Somebody
sure.
would say, "Hey, te toca las carnitas, cabrón." So we'd come in there and we'd have like 5 or 6 crews buying like 10, 15 pounds for like,
Yeah.
20 guys plus.
Mm-hmm.
And all of that went away, bro.
Man.
And when I say all of it, I mean 100%
Yeah,
of
no,
that went away, bro.
it's crazy, dude. It's crazy, man.
And we've reduced the batches that we make, and we keep it fresh.
Yeah.
And
I mean, you see when ICE was pulling up to construction site,
yeah, bro,
right? And taking like 15, 20 people
Yeah.
when it first started, remember?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like so that's how we keep inventory.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say we never have carnitas that are reheated at the restaurant. We do.
Sure.
We do, but like it's gonna be like a small amount, and I let the customers know. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
Like your carnitas were made yesterday. This is what we're doing, and they like I mean I'm upfront, bro. Like I'm not gonna say like
for
every
sure.
single and
Yeah.
there is not one.
And it's
person
still
out there-
fire, though, right? I mean,
Yeah,
it's
of
still
course,
good, right?
Of
You know?
course, man. I
Yeah,
mean,
you were talking about having a
Yeah.
little process to reheat them and stuff, right? You know?
I have one of those. I have one of those standards from like. So I used to work at In-N-Out, bro.
Oh, all right. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. You learn a lot from working at places like
yeah,
that, dude.
man.
You know?
I used to-
Process wise?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
and it's like you give somebody a good product and they're gonna keep coming back. You keep your menu simple. You're not gonna confuse them with decisions.
Yeah.
And you honor you respect and you appreciate your customer, bro. If I've ever had someone come and tell me like, oh, these carnitas don't taste like anything, like it was horrible, and they bring me the food back, I give them their money back.
Yeah.
But you're not. But when people have come and tell me, oh, the food wasn't good, and I bought it here, and this was yesterday, I can't do nothing. If
Yeah,
you don't
yeah,
have
come
the,
on.
the
Yeah,
food.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's nothing like be reasonable with me.
Sure,
You know what I
sure.
mean? Like I'm in the business again. I'm in the hospitality business. I have to treat you good. I want to make sure you're happy.
Mm-hmm.
But there is those people that take advantage of the business and will come and say like, oh, we came the other day and it was no good, and I live far away. And I said, you know what? If you would have called me, I would have gave you my cell phone number, and you could have texted me a picture of whatever you didn't like or what you had, and I would have replaced it for you.
Yeah,
I would have
yeah,
gave
yeah.
you a credit when you came in. Right now, your food would be free.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, but you put me in a tough position. I'm not in the business of just giving food away. I'm in
Yeah,
the
yeah,
business
for
of
sure.
keeping customers happy,
Yeah.
but not giving stuff away.
And then how is it running a business right now with like social media and shit, dude? You know? Like, are you in tune with TikTok and like Instagram and all. I mean, you have a big following, obviously, right? You know, so people like your stuff. You know.
Yeah, my following is organic.
Mm-hmm.
I don't buy followers. I don't look
Yeah.
for. I don't. That's not. I don't ask everyone to follow me. Um, Most of the time, people find us through influencers. Influencers will call and they'll tell us, "Hey, we're interested in doing your restaurant." If it's an influencer that has um, real interest in, and this goes out to anybody out there trying to like start a business and looking
Mm-hmm.
for influencers. But if it's an influencer who's actually looking to grow his following and actually put out good content out there, and they understand at what level of business you're in, whether it's beginning, starter, medium, or advanced or whatnot, right? They're gonna give you an opportunity to just to create content for you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because they're gonna know you're not doing good. They're gonna know you're barely starting. They're gonna know you don't have a bunch of money.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've had influencers tell me they charge me $2,500 to come and highlight my restaurant, and I'm
Yeah.
like, why am I giving you $2,500? I can get a commercial on Time Warner
Yeah. Yeah.
Cable for that, bro.
For
You know what I
real,
mean?
right? You know, like
Like,
yeah.
nah. But if there's an
Yeah.
influencer that tells me, hey, you know what? I'm just, I charge, X amount of dollars just for my time, the edit, and like going
Yeah.
to your
Yeah.
restaurant. I'm like, and I respect that because I have a business too,
Sure.
and I
Sure.
know people run businesses, and
Mm-hmm.
it's not just supposed to be beneficial for me. They have to benefit off of it
Sure.
too,
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Like I'll do that. You know what I mean? And then there's some that just want to highlight my business, and I appreciate that. And there was a kid that just did my business. Um, El Nopal,
I haven't seen
El
them.
Nopal agency.
Mm-hmm.
He came. He said he wasn't charging nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
He said, "I just want to do a video. I really like your restaurant." He did it for us. He did. I know. I seen him one time before on Tacos La Carreta. Shout out to my boy Jose. Which if you
Mm-hmm.
haven't tried those tacos, fire.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but he didn't charge me nothing. He just said, "I always want to do it." At the end of the day, I said, "Look, bro." He's like, "Oh, I came from San Bernardino," and
Oh
I
wow.
was just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
"Wow, bro, you came all the way over here for
Yeah.
free." I
Yeah.
said, "Nah, bro. Here. I gave him some money for gas, like." And I was like, yeah, "There's no way, bro. You're gonna
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
come out here and plus you do like good edits and your stuff is good. It has to
Nice. Nice.
be,
Yeah. Yeah. Mutual thing, no?
mutually
Yeah. Yeah.
beneficial to both businesses,
Oh,
bro.
that's
You know what
cool,
I mean?
man. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah,
Definitely.
that's helped me, and working with good influencers, and people that have dealt with you a long time. And they understand your story. They're gonna help you out,
Yeah. The
bro.
story is important for
Oh
sure. I
yeah,
think, man.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah.
And then what do you got in store for the future, man? Like we talked about you possibly being in the Intuit Dome,
Yeah.
right? That's a
So
big thing, man. You know.
you know what?
Yeah.
We have a contract with Intuit Dome. It's something that's in the works. It's a very challenging process with them. We were supposed to be in there before
This season
the
and stuff.
season.
Mm-hmm.
We've just been running into kind of like some challenges that they're helping us get through. That hopefully will get us in there soon. Um, so hopefully we'll be in there
No,
real
that's what's up,
soon.
man.
We
And
have
that's like basically what you're planning for the future. Maybe
um,
some distribution and stuff, right? You know.
yeah.
So
So
if any distributors out there,
yeah,
right,
yeah.
like tap in. No, I
Yeah,
mean, you know.
yeah.
Yeah.
So one of the challenges is producing the carnitas inside into a dome, because again we're doing proper pots.
Yeah. Yeah.
Their licensing and their some of their legal issues that we've been having is having them being directly bought from us. So we have to find a like again
Hmm.
distributor that would take our food and distribute it,
Yeah.
and they would make it available for them, which has had me looking into the possibility of having a distribution
Yeah.
for Carnitas El Artista. And again, I kind of thought back a little bit on how people have been coming to our restaurant. Our following has been growing from people that have been catching us on Instagram, on TikTok, Facebook, YouTube videos that get made, and they're not in California, they're not in Inglewood, they're not in LA County.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody looking at it from Canada would want to say, hey, you know what? I wanna
Yeah.
see
Let
if
me
it's
order a little
let me
pound
order
or
2 pounds of
something. You know.
carnitas,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
like
For
hey,
sure.
I mean, if people can order crawfish from Louisiana,
Yeah,
bro,
they do the
why
Omaha
can't they?
steaks
You
and
know what I'm
shit,
saying?
right? I
Well,
mean,
yeah,
you know.
why can't they order
Yeah.
carnitas from Inglewood, bro?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
For sure, man. You
Yeah,
know. That's dope.
yeah.
And where's your business location? And a few things actually. The name El Artista, where does that come from? Then I mean, El
So
Artista means the artist, right? You know.
artista means the artist, and my grandpa gave me that name. And the way I got that name was he lived in Wilmington and he would catch the bus to Inglewood or Hawthorne back in the day, and when he was alive, Grandpa rest in peace. And it's funny when they get amnesia, like older people get amnesia, they'll
Sure.
remember certain things.
Mm-hmm.
So he would remember how to get here, but he would never know how to get back.
Oh, okay.
And the way we found out that he wouldn't know how to get back is sometimes we would find him in hospitals, police departments, um,
Lost and
just
shit.
lost, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And our concern for that when we would see him is like, oh, we had to take him home, So I would take him home. I would grab some, take my grandpa to the market because I know he liked to go shopping. He'd always have one of those Mexican shopping bags.
Oh, all right. Yeah, yeah.
And I take him to go buy some stuff, whatever he wanted to buy at the store, and I would do it in Inglewood and in Hawthorne, and I would run into people I knew. Y me saludaban. They were like, "Hey, Tavo, how you doing? Hey, what's up? What's up?" And then he would just look at me like, "Hey, tú que eres un artista or what?"
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. So he meant el
And
artista like a movie star
like
or
a movie,
shit.
like you some kind
Yeah,
of movie
yeah,
star, you some
yeah.
kind of star or whatever. And I said, "Yeah, soy el artista."
Uh-huh.
So then when he would see me, he was like, "Oh, mi artista, mi artista."
Oh, okay. Yeah,
So
yeah.
when we opened up the when I thought of opening the business and I had to give it a name, I just kind of was a little selfish on the name,
Yeah, yeah.
thinking of myself, but I just said, you know what, Carnitas El Artista, and
Yeah, yeah.
and it had a really good ring to it, so I liked it, and I went with that.
Nice, nice, nice.
Yeah.
And then like right now, like if the let's say a special person was gonna pull up, dude, the president. Obviously, I don't want to use the president in this
Let's
aspect.
not use the president, bro.
You know, it
Let's
used
go.
to mean something, right? You get me?
Bro,
That's messed
oh
up,
my
no?
God, we used to
It
like
used to mean something.
we used to
Dude.
like our
You get me?
presidents.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
That's crazy. I just thought of that as the words were coming out of my mouth. I was like, all right, that's a bad choice. This
All
shit.
right.
Let's say your favorite movie stars coming to the restaurant, bro. What do they have to eat? Like, what's the go to? I mean, obviously the carnitas is fire, right? But like what would you recommend?
I'm gonna put the most important person that I know in the shoes. So myself, right?
Uh-huh.
What would I eat in my restaurant, bro?
Mhm.
Because I think you know what it's like they say, what does a cook eat? Like
Yeah, yeah.
like what does he eat? Um, my favorite thing, I have my top two meats, cuts, proteins, whatever you want to call it, at the restaurant are the lengua because
Mhm.
son lenguas de puerco and they're really tender and it's cooked with the carnitas. And the second would be the ribs.
Oh. I've never had lengua in my life and shit.
Really?
That's trip, no? Yeah, yeah.
De puerco or de what
At
kind?
all.
You don't like it? Are you one of those?
I never like how it looked.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, you just gotta get it chopped up, bro. Next time I know what I'm gonna give you.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna tell you what I'm giving you.
I've had
Bro.
liver, but obviously from chicken and shit,
Yeah.
but like, yeah, I've never had lengua and shit,
I'm
dude.
particular on the part of the lengua that I eat, bro.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's different parts to it and shit.
Yeah. There's it's I don't
Yeah.
even want to say it because it's gonna sound wrong, but I like the part that's connected to the mouth.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The more inside, it's
Yeah.
more tender and shit.
Yeah, I just like the way it is. I don't know.
Oh, shit.
I like the way it soaks up the salsa and all that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yes,
So the
sir.
tacos
Yes,
de
sir.
lengua and shit.
Tacos de lengua,
All
tacos de
right.
lengua, the costilla, bro. We get the full strip, the whole rib. So on that rib in Mexico, they call it la costilla y luego la aldea.
Mm-hmm.
La aldea is like really tender. So I cut the whole spare rib. I chop up the aldea. I put it on the meat, and then I sit that bone right on top, and then I put the onion and cilantro. So when people see that taco, the first thing everybody always does, bro, they grab that rib and they fucking
Oh,
they
they
eat
mess
it,
it up,
and then
yeah.
they boom, they kill that taco.
Oh,
and
that's
then
what's up, man. Oh,
that's
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
that's kind of the go-tos for me. So
Oh,
yeah,
that's
I
dope.
would definitely recommend those two meats. If I were to recommend a plate, it would be it would be a ranchero plate. So I have a ranchero plate. I named the chilaquile plate after the Rams,
Uh-huh.
and that plate has red and green chilaquiles. We put queso fresco, crema mexicana, cebolla, cilantro, carnitas, and two eggs on top, and serve with a side of beans.
Oh, nice, nice. And then where's your restaurant located for like anybody that's local that wants to pull up and shit, or if they're in town?
So we are at 510 North La Brea in the city of Inglewood, California,
There you go, man.
90302. If you Google best carnitas in Inglewood,
Yo, pop
I
up.
hope I come up. Yeah, no, I pop up. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
carnitas in Inglewood will pop up right there. With no disrespect to any of the other markets that have been in Inglewood longer than I have, we just kind of went out there and we did a specialty, and our specialty son carnitas. But I know a lot of people go to Kelso Market. A lot of people have been eating their chicharrones. I know we used to have them when we were younger. And like I think it's shout out to Kelso Market, like shout out to all the carnicerias, everybody in Inglewood. Which, on my end, it's all respect. It's a business, and I don't ever talk bad about nobody because I wouldn't want nobody to do it to me, and
Yeah,
and
yeah.
and I would want other businesses to support me the way I try to support everybody else.
No, definitely, man.
Yeah,
And I haven't had the chance to try them, so I'm gonna pull up for sure. By
sounds
this
good.
weekend,
Sounds
guarantee
good,
you're gonna
man.
see
I'll
me
see you
there, man.
there, bro. You
You
see
guys
me there
open
too.
like at what 10 or something like
So
that?
during the week, we close every Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, during the week, we're open from 9 to 5 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the weekends, we're open from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m.
All right, yeah, yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
sir. Yes,
Nice,
sir.
nice. And what's the best time to pull up?
The earlier, the better.
A little better,
The
right? Yeah,
earlier,
they're
the better.
fresher.
But
They're
you know what,
fresher, no?
man? You guys always I always recommend that people call ahead because we run out.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Okay, so
yeah.
you know how you were saying like what happens to the carnitas, right? When they're
Mm-hmm.
left over. Well, I'm happy to say that we run out before we don't run out. And again, we make limited batches. We don't hold carnitas in there so we can start reheating at any given moment. It's pretty much when we're out, we're out.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
yes, we have asada, yes, we have chilaquiles, menudo and all that stuff and chicken and everything. But you know what? Our specialty is the carnitas. So once we're out of the carnitas, game over for the day.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah.
I mean? And on to the next day.
Oh, that's
And
what's up.
that's how it goes
All
down.
right, yeah,
Yep.
yeah. So make sure you call ahead, have your plate ready, man.
Yep. You can.
And shout out to Rival, man. The homie plugged us in together. Good guy, another Inglewood native, man. So shout out to him for putting this together. Strictly business, man. The guy is a grinder, man. If you need cars, party
Oh
supplies,
yeah.
whatever, he got you. He just released his new merch from the Inglewood City of Champions, man. So make sure you tap in with Strictly Business if you need any of that, man. And
Shout out to Rival.
yeah, for
Yep.
sure, man.
Yep.
Shout out to Sweet Life, man. She does make dope ass micheladas and shit. She's one of our sponsors right here. So definitely tap in with her if you need any candy mixes, rim dips, and all that good stuff, man. You already know. And then the Rams got the bye week on Sunday, man. So we get a rest. We're 5-2.
Yep.
We're on the way to win a championship, basically, man.
Yeah, man. Catch us at the Super Bowl.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, right?
Yeah.
And wish you the best of luck at your restaurant. I'm definitely gonna pull up and try it out.
Sounds good, man.
I'm a
Thank you,
foodie
thank you, thank
myself,
you.
dude. Definitely.
Yeah,
So
man.
I'll
Yeah.
do a little food review or something, man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's always good because I love food and shit,
Yeah,
man.
man. We gotta do a little food crawl in Inglewood, man. I wanna shout out to my boy Birria Moyawa,
Uh-huh.
which is another guy right there, man. He's doing his thing.
Yeah.
I see a little bit of his journey. Like from what I went through, and
Nice.
he's definitely another dude that's doing something totally different than us, but he's doing an authentic and he's following a tradition
That he has and
that
shit.
he has that comes with his family.
Oh, nice, nice.
And again, if you guys are looking for somebody, Viria Moyawa, my boy Raul, which is why I know Rival, which is why I'm giving him the shout out.
Oh, okay.
Which,
nice,
so
nice.
we're all
Yeah,
connected,
yeah.
bro. Inglewood connects. So,
Yeah, that's
what it
what's
is.
up, man.
Yep,
And
yep.
yeah, and I'm gonna go over there and shut it down, obviously, because you seen I'm doing it myself. But why don't you tell somebody like what inspired you to do your thing, dude? Like if somebody was trying to do something, what advice would you give them actually? Like if they're trying to start a business, if they're trying to start singing, writing music, whatever it is, man. Maybe they do candy or something, man. You
Yeah.
know. What
Yeah.
advice would you give them as a business owner that you think?
I'm gonna just say these last very impactful words in a form of advice because I know a lot of us sometimes need to understand what position we're in when you have people looking for you to buy your product, that they're seeking your product, that make you doubt what you're doing. And when people are looking for you, they're really looking for you to give you their money. They're not really looking for you to be your friend, to hang out with you. You've given them the gift of your work, and they're looking for you because they want to continue receiving that gift. In exchange, they compensate you. So don't ever let anyone make you feel or make you think or believe that you're not ready to take the leap of owning your business or opening that store because I had that happen to me when I first started. I didn't think I was ready. I had lines and I was making good money, and I thought it was only going to happen for me on Sundays. But I actually put myself in the public view, and here I am able to tell a good story about what my journey was, and I'm glad I did it. And I hope anybody else out there that's starting a business or has had the opportunity to sell something to somebody and has been blessed with the opportunity of being able to do it more than just once, where people you're getting repeat customers, it's a sign for you to open up your business. So don't give up on yourself.
Well said, man. And thanks for everybody that tapped in today. See y'all tomorrow for Tap In Thursday, man. Have a great night.